guys, it's Taylor from the 5 Cent Homestead. So today I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about my chickens, which are way too loud, so I'm going to go in and tell you about them.
Over the past few months, we've been having some health issues with our chickens. They started losing some feathers, and it's just around their tail and vent areas, and their vent is where their eggs come out of, if you are not aware. And so the first logical thing you think of is parasites. If they have external parasites like lice or mites, they usually congregate in warm areas such as that, and then the chicken picks at it because it's itchy. Other chickens see the bugs moving sometimes and they pick at it. But every time I looked at the chickens, I would give a nice thorough inspection and I couldn't see anything. So then that led me to, oh well, maybe it's, there's a certain species of mites that only feed on the chicken during night and then stay in the coop during the day, like burrow into the wood and whatnot. So I even went out in the dark with a flashlight and caught a few chickens and looked them over, and I just couldn't find anything. So I was beginning to feel extremely confused. Everyone I talked to about it said, oh no, it's probably parasites, just keep looking. So I looked and I looked and I did not see anything, and I have found parasites on other animals before, so I do have a rough idea of what I'm looking for. We also had a few chickens die, and generally speaking, if a chicken is sick, or any animal for that matter, they'll give you some warning signs. They'll go off into a corner or by themselves, and they'll just look very lethargic and out of it, as well as they'll generally speaking go off their feed for a little while first. And there was just none of those symptoms other than feather loss. Nothing was wrong. I'd go out there and they'd be running around, happy chickens, and I'd go out there again and there would just be a dead chicken. And it made no sense. So we tried making a few adjustments because I thought, well, maybe it was something in there, the way we house them. So we added some diatomaceous earth and some wood ash into their dust bath. Those just can help control parasites. There's mixed opinions on those items, but we felt we should give it a try anyways. So we did that, and we added some product called either Barn Fresh or Stall Dry, or I think it can go by a few names. Anyways, it's a diatomaceous earth and clay mixture, and it essentially just absorbs the moisture. So we were hoping to help with the humidity and ammonia levels in the coop go down in case that was causing any issues. So we did that, and we weren't noticing. We would notice maybe like a little difference right at first, and then about the same after that. Still, the feathers weren't growing back, and we just we just couldn't figure it out. And but yeah, it's really odd because their lay rate never went down either, and often when the chicken is sick, they'll stop laying eggs, but that wasn't the case at all. We still had like great egg production, especially considering it is the middle of the winter. So anyways, we had these happy chickens. They were running around, they looked healthy, logically speaking, nothing was wrong with them other than they had lost feathers, and every few weeks or to a month, give or take, depending on, one chicken would die. So finally, when the last one died, we said, you know what, this is stupid. We can't just keep guessing to figure out what it is. So we went into the vet actually yesterday. We took one of our chickens in. I never thought I'd be the type of person to take a chicken to the vet, but I mean, hey, it was for all of the chickens. They just had to see one to figure it out. So unfortunately, it's one of those things that gets good news. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with them, but it's also bad news because part of it I can't change and part of it is my own fault. So that sucks, and I hate that. So essentially, hold on one second. What's up, Lena? We gotta stop for potty break. Anyways, I have a little helper now. So what the vet told me was, the chickens are just evil and are attacking each other. It's partly just the joys of living in Saskatchewan in the winter, and there is nothing to do in the winter. Chicken, human alike, winter sucks. So that's hard to do anything about. The biggest thing we can do is just give them more room to get away from each other and to run around. And so part of that is we do have too many chickens in our coop, which we are aware of. Back to the same problem as the last video, we weren't planning to be here when we got the amount of chickens we did. We had been intending to just renovate a different building on our yard into our chicken coop. But then once once the plan was set in motion to move, we said, oh, we don't want to waste our time putting up a chicken coop here when we're going to be moving, and there's a nice barn there we can use for the chickens. and then it just did not end up happening before winter, so that was our own fault. We should have done something about that. And that is also what comes into part 2 of what the problem is once again, because their coop is too small, it's leading to too much humidity and ammonia and stuff like that building up in the coop, and so essentially that's affecting their quality of their feathers and like affecting their skin. So up to this point we'd been using straw in the coop we've been using straw as their litter. So we're gonna try changing that over now. We're going to use shavings as well instead of just the straw, as shavings are a lot more absorbent. And then hopefully also cleaning the coop out a little bit more often. In the summer we're very diligent about that, but in the winter we tend to go more for what they call a deep litter method, as it does help retain some heat in the coop. But I guess in this case we're gonna have to figure that out. We can't clean it out this week, obviously. It is minus 50 tonight with the wind chill, so that's super terrible. But yeah, the whole week is supposed to be between like minus 30, minus 40 some, and it's just awful. So hopefully, we're not gonna be able to do much about that right now. Hopefully once it warms up a bit, we'll be able to clean it right out and start from scratch. Add a bunch of the product that can absorb moisture, and also put in some shavings and just try to get that better. And I will also try to think of some things to put in there to maybe try to occupy the chickens. So essentially the ones that were dying pecked each other to death or attacked each other. So to be honest, I'm not too sure what we're gonna do to try to combat the boredness. Thankfully we don't have too much longer of them being stuck in the coop. Like by the time mid to end March comes around, usually it's warm enough, you can start letting them out a little bit more, and will they actually want to go out. If you were to open the coop door right now, I can assure you no one would go outside. We don't even go outside unless we have to. Hey Missy, do you have anything you could tell them about chickens? Nothing, you just want snacks, hey? So we better go, little miss needs a snack. Can you say see you later, guys? Yeah. Can you say subscribe to our channel? Well, thank you. She's assuming you will. See you guys.